Good morning. Glad to have you here. Clayton County Conservation has an event this coming Saturday we're going to be talking all about. Tell me about Clayton County CAN, first of all. What do you all do?
Okay, that's a good question. Clayton County CAN, for short, which is Conservation Awareness Network, is a group we started a few years ago just as a way to, we all in some way or another have a connection to the land, the water, natural resources, outdoor recreation, all these kinds of things, but we're all these scattered groups, whether it's Pheasants Forever, Ducks Unlimited, the Meaderville Canoe Club, I mean, you name it, or even individuals or businesses that have this connection to the landscape. And yet when it comes to issues of the landscape, we all, we're all scattered groups or independent thinking people. And so this is an organization to bring all of those voices together in more of a uniform voice, and as a way also to pass network information and put on events and introduce people to places in Clayton County or throughout Northeast Iowa that people have never been to before. There's some beautiful places within the Driftless area, hidden treasures really, and it's just a fun way to introduce people to that. And our group, that's what we do. And this upcoming event this weekend, Music and Monarch, which we'll be talking about, is a fun musical free event that's going to bring people together.
So the synergy of all these groups that work with the conservation in the community, in Elkader and in the surrounding areas in Clayton County, you get them all together, and you find that you really have something you can work with and get a lot accomplished when you combine all those forces together. And so this Saturday is Music and Monarchs. So this is going to be in Elkader this Saturday starting at 1 o'clock and all afternoon. So Music and Monarchs. Now we're talking butterflies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And the whole thing of this all started with, and this is going to be, we got some great music. It starts this Saturday. It's at about 1 p.m. It goes to about 7. And it all started with, well, I wrote an article for the local newspaper a month or so ago about, in the news about the plight of the monarch butterfly.
Yeah.
And most of us have some connection to the monarch. It's an iconic species that, we've all seen and grown up with, yet few people realize, I mean, I learned a lot myself, actually, when I started writing the article to research it thoroughly, of the whole life history and what's happening to the monarch, because their populations have declined 90% since 1992. And you look at, when you learn a little bit about their life history, it's an amazing migration, and people will learn about what that is if they come to it. Do you want me to talk?
Well, in short, the migration is from our neck of the woods in certain times of the year to the western coast of Mexico in other times of the year, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the monarchs we see in August, those are the ones that are going to make this 2,800-mile migration back to central Mexico. But those aren't the ones that come back. When the migration back is unique in the insect world. They overwinter in Mexico. The ones we see in August, they migrate back, and then they start their migration back in February, early February, get to like southern Texas, lay eggs on the milkweed plant, which is their only host plant. And with less than 30 days, they go through the life cycle, come out as a monarch butterfly. Then somehow that monarch still knows to continue its journey north. Live about 2 months, that generation. Same thing happens a little further north, and it goes through that whole cycle again. And it takes 3 of those generations to get back to Iowa and then further north. Yes, and then it's that 4th generation that is in Iowa that are the ones then that they're longer lived, 10 months they live, and those are the ones then that migrate back. So it's over several generations that complete this migration.
Yeah. I remember growing up with seeing monarch butterflies all over the place, and I lived in the city when I was a kid. I mean, they were everywhere. It was a part of the fabric of childhood. You saw these beautiful orange butterflies with the gorgeous markings, and over the course of years, we may or may not have noticed that they have declined so much, but until you start doing the research and you see that they've actually gone down 90%, that's a staggering statistic, and I assume that's something that can be curtailed. I mean, the hope is that you can nip this in the bud and turn things around.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you look at the Iowa landscape over time, if their host plant is the milkweed plant, and it's their only host plant, there's several species of milkweed. But you look across the landscape, and what's happened since the early 1990s, we've gotten way better with Roundup Ready herbicides and things. And that definitely is beneficial, helps people grow crops. But it also, you look at these fields now; they're completely clean, and so it's eliminated. Milkweed plants throughout the range, and it would, to me, my analogy is it would be like a bridge out, and with no other way to complete your journey. And so what people can do there's all kinds of ways to enhance putting back in that habitat, whether it's in road ditches, CRP fields, your backyard garden. There's all kinds of ways that we can that you can benefit the habitat of monarchs by providing milkweed plants. And in this event too, it's more than, the monarch is just a way to introduce people to a little bit it's the tip of the iceberg of a deeper level of restoring habitat, because that same habitat that you're restoring to benefit the monarch is also reducing soil erosion, improving water quality, improving habitat for pheasants and all the other species actually that occupy the land as well.
The monarch relies on it specifically, this particular plant, but it has so many other benefits and just general habitat protection.
Exactly, and just giving people that connection is what we're doing.
So what's going to happen on Saturday? Starting at 1 o'clock, music on the banks of the Turkey River in Elkader. Which park are we talking about in Elkader on Saturday?
See, now this is the fun part, because conservation awareness should be fun, and music is a great way to make it fun. And Founders Park is actually was a flood buyout area in 2008 when Elkader was under 8 feet of water, and it's right in downtown Elkader, right along the banks of the river, right next to our new Whitewater Park.
Yeah.
But we have some fantastic music, and the way this all started was my brother had heard this band called the Way Down Wonders. These young kids, these up and coming bluegrass band, and he told me about them, and so I just called him. He said, "You should get him sometime." And so I randomly called him, and then they didn't have any open dates. They said, "Well, we do have one open weekend, May 9th." And
so they're going to be there.
Yeah,
fantastic.
They're going to be fantastic.
So where are they from?
They're from Peoria, Illinois,
Okay.
and they were actually voted the up-and-coming bluegrass band in the Chicago area.
Fantastic.
Emerging band. And
fantastic. Good to have some new grass coming out of Illinois. We hear all the bands from Minnesota down here.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're coming up from Peoria, and I know there's some other big-name artists from around the region that are going to be here.
Yeah, also who's going to be there is John Stravers, who's with Big Blue Sky, and he's a big advocate of bird conservation on the Mississippi River. We also have coming the Driftless Sisters, who used to be the Matriarchs. It's an all-female bluegrass band, and they are fantastic. And they just started a different band called the Driftless Sisters, which fits right into this, the whole thing here. And then we also got Dave Zolo, who's going to also be playing that day. And the fun part is these artists were all very excited about the cause, and I think that's why we got them for this event.
It's fantastic. So they're going to be playing all day. The music is from 1 until 7, and activities for all ages. There'll be activities for kids, monarch face painting, and kids butterfly crafts, and a lot of fun things for all ages on Saturday as well.
Yep. And our goal is really we want people to enjoy it, but I want them to leave there knowing about the monarch and about habitat, and we're also having a lot of other educational things there. We're having a beekeeper come with a beehive and a glass case so people can see inside of it. We're having some people come to talk about having these collections of monarchs and butterflies, and we're also having some educational stations so people can come away with this with really a grasp of why it's important to restore habitat diversity to Iowa and throughout Northeast Iowa, not just for the benefit of the monarch, but for 100 reasons.
So this Saturday from 1 till 7, the Founders Park in downtown Elkader, just down at the bottom of the hill, just below downtown, right by the riverbank.
Right downtown.
Right by the new water park in the river, and it's absolutely free. That's the other big deal. The music's all free.
And the other part, too, you can bring your own picnic beverages and a water bottle, and it should be a fun event. Hope the weather's great.
And we're looking forward to it. Gary Sigworth from Clayton County Conservation Awareness Network. Music and Monarchs this Sunday, 1 till 7, downtown Elkader at Founders Park. Bring the family, bring the kids, bring the grandkids, bring the grandmothers and granddads if you can, too. They'll all enjoy it. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for what you all do there in Clayton County. We appreciate it.
Oh, you bet. My pleasure.
We'll catch you this Saturday in downtown Elkader. It's 6:44. We'll be right back with more music. Imagine Dragons on deck on FM 100.5. We're brought to you this morning by Winnie Sheik Medical Center.
I'm 6 and I go to Northeast Iowa.